Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Before starting the video, please subscribe and keep watching for more details videos. Coco Gauff dominates Lucia Bronzetti to reach Cincinnati last 8. Coco Gauff claimed a 6-2, 6-4 win over Lucia Bronzetti to reach the quarterfinals of the Cincinnati Open on Thursday, with the second seeds game showing some minor rust after a bye in the previous round. Gauff got a free pass into the last 16 when intended opponent Diana Yastremska withdrew before the start with injury. The American, who won the Cincinnati title in 2023 before carrying her momentum to a U.S. Open crown 3 weeks later, will next meet either 7th seed Jasmine Paolini or former Wimbledon winner Barbara Krejcikova. Gauff will be playing her third 1,000-level quarterfinal of the season after Madrid and Rome, both of which she went on to reach the final. The 21-year-old, who lost an early break in both sets, finally secured a spot in the last 8 with a concluding break of the 61st-ranked Italian serve as Bronzetti hit long after 79 minutes on court. Gauff said that memories of her title success here 2 years ago come to the surface whenever she is on the center court. It's super special to play on this court. I have so many memories from 2023. I played controlled but aggressive, but sometimes I was a bit passive. It's tough because the ball really flies, and she was giving me no pace. I had chances when she lost serve, but I missed a couple of balls. I was still able to close it out. On a sun-soaked afternoon in Cincinnati, a familiar rhythm echoed through the Lindner Family Tennis Center. The deep thump of Coco Gauff's racket meeting the ball, the swift movement of sneakers across hard court, and the crowd's ever-growing roar with every dazzling point. This was more than a tennis match. It was a statement. In just over an hour, 21-year-old Coco Gauff dispatched Italy's Lucia Bronzetti in straight sets, 6-2, 6-1, in a performance that felt more like a declaration of intent than a mere quarterfinal qualification. With her eyes set firmly on the U.S. Open later this month, Gauff is sharpening her game at the Western and Southern Open, and Lucia Bronzetti, despite her grit and hustle, became the latest victim in Gauff's ruthless summer run. A new chapter of confidence. Since her breakthrough at age 15, Coco Gauff has carried the weight of expectation with unusual poise. But what fans witnessed today wasn't the wide-eyed teen prodigy from Wimbledon 2019. This was the grown-up version, more powerful, more precise, and more psychologically composed. From the very first game, Gauff's intentions were clear. She came out swinging, not just with her racket, but with purpose. Her serve, once considered the least consistent part of her arsenal, has matured into a weapon. She fired down 4 aces in the first set alone, using placement and spin to keep Bronzetti off balance. "I felt really good today," Gauff said in her post-match press conference, her expression calm but her voice electric with momentum. "I knew Lucia is a fighter, so I had to take control early. I stuck to the game plan and trusted my shots." That trust showed in every stroke. Whether it was a ferocious forehand cross-court or a slice drop shot that hugged the net and died upon landing, Gauff painted the lines like an artist with a confident hand. The crowd gasped, then erupted. Cincinnati, long a favorite stop for American players, gave their rising star a standing ovation before the final handshake. Bronzetti battles, but Gauff commands. To her credit, Bronzetti never stopped running. The 26-year-old Italian has carved a name for herself with resilience and a never-say-die attitude. She entered the match as an underdog, but with a reputation for punishing opponents who underestimate her consistency. But Gauff wasn't underestimating anyone. Bronzetti tried mixing up the pace, using loopy topspin and deep returns to lure Gauff into errors. But Coco was too sharp. Her footwork, nimble, feline, and relentless, allowed her to take the ball early, rushing Bronzetti and leaving her with few options. At 4-2 in the first set, Bronzetti finally earned a break point. The crowd held its breath, but Gauff responded with a 116 miles per hour ace down the tee, unreturnable and devastating. It was the kind of shot champions are made of. "She's on another level right now," Bronzetti admitted afterward. "Her serve, her court coverage, there wasn't much I could do today." A summer of maturity and momentum. What's fueling this version of Coco Gauff? Part of it is confidence. After claiming her first Grand Slam title at last year's U.S. Open, Gauff has grown into her role not just as a contender, but as a leader on the tour. No longer burdened by expectation, she seems to embrace it. "I'm not just playing to prove something," she said. "I'm playing because I love this game, and I'm starting to understand it in a deeper way. Strategy, patience, discipline, those things matter just as much as raw talent." That maturity has been on full display this summer. In Toronto, she reached the semifinals before falling to Iga Swiatek in a tight three-setter. In Washington, she lifted the trophy. Now in Cincinnati, she hasn't dropped a set. Coach Brad Gilbert, who joined her team last year, credits Gauff's recent form to mental resilience and tactical awareness. "She's learning when to hit, when to hold back, when to rally, and when to end points quickly," Gilbert said. "She's playing smart tennis." The path forward and the road to New York. With today's win, Gauff moves into the quarterfinals, where she'll face either the big-serving Karolina Muchova or the informed Chinese star Zheng Qinwen, a match that promises fireworks no matter who advances. But beyond Cincinnati lies a bigger goal, defending her U.S. Open crown in Flushing Meadows. "I don't think about defending anything," Gauff said with a laugh. "I'm just attacking every match, every opportunity." That attacking mindset is resonating with fans and fellow players alike. Many compare her to the Williams sisters, not just in athleticism but in presence. Gauff doesn't shy away from pressure, she invites it. And off the court, she remains a voice of poise and purpose. Whether advocating for social justice or simply encouraging younger players, Gauff exemplifies what it means to be a modern champion. Cincinnati, more than just a warm-up. For tennis aficionados, Cincinnati is not just a pit stop before the U.S. Open. It's a proving ground, a place where heat, speed, and crowd energy combine to test even the best. And Gauff is passing that test with flying colors. "She's the most dangerous player in this draw right now," said former world number 1 Lindsay Davenport, commentating on the Tennis Channel. "She's peaking at the right time." As Gauff left the court, she waved to a crowd that had long adopted her as one of their own. Kids held up signs, "Let's go Coco," and "Queen of the Court," while parents nudged their children to watch closely. Because witnessing Coco Gauff in form isn't just entertainment. It's witnessing a story in the making, the story of a player who was once called the future and is now very much the present. Sidebar match statistics. Category Coco Gauff Lucia Bronzetti. Aces 7-1. Under the sweltering August sun in Cincinnati, the court belonged to a young woman with poise far beyond her years and a forehand as fierce as her ambition. Coco Gauff, the American teenage sensation, made a thunderous statement as she cruised past Italy's Lucia Bronzetti in straight sets, 6-2, 6-3, to book her spot in the quarterfinals of the 2025 Western and Southern Open. It wasn't just a win, it was a declaration. From the very first point, it was clear Gauff had arrived not just to play, but to dominate. Her footwork was electric, her serve unrelenting, and her composure impenetrable. Against Bronzetti, who had shown flashes of brilliance throughout the tournament, Gauff was a wall, absorbing pressure, turning defense into offense, and unleashing winners that sent the crowd into repeated bursts of applause. The rise of a new era. At only 21, Coco Gauff is no longer the rising star she was when she stunned Venus Williams at Wimbledon as a 15-year-old. She's now a title contender at every event she enters, a Grand Slam champion, a top-ranked player, and a global icon. But what sets her apart in Cincinnati this week isn't just her power or athleticism. It's her mindset. "This is the most focused I've felt all summer," Gauff said in a post-match interview. "I'm learning how to take control of matches from the start. That's been the biggest difference." And control it she did. A match of precision and power. Lucia Bronzetti, ranked outside the top 30, came into the match as the underdog, but not without hope. The Italian had fought her way through 2 tough earlier rounds, showing tactical acumen and gritty baseline play. But against Gauff, she was outgunned. From the opening service game, Gauff dictated the tempo. Her first serve clocked inconsistently above 115 miles per hour, and her returns were aggressive, forcing Bronzetti into defensive positions early. Within 25 minutes, the first set was over, 6-2 in Gauff's favor. Bronzetti showed moments of resistance in the second set, managing to hold serve a few times and even pushing Gauff to deuce on occasion. But every time there was a glimmer of hope for the Italian, Gauff slammed the door shut. Whether it was with a blistering backhand down the line or a deft drop shot that seemed to hover before kissing the court, she always had an answer. The final game encapsulated the entire match. Gauff serving for the win, down 15-30, delivering an ace, then a cross-court winner, and finally sealing the match with a forehand that kissed the sideline. Game. Set. Gauff. More than just a win. This wasn't just another victory for Gauff. It was a performance that reinforced her status as one of the elite players of the WTA Tour. With the U.S. Open just around the corner, every match is a test, and every tournament is a stepping stone. I'm trying to treat every match like it's a final, Gauff said. That mindset helps me stay sharp. I want to keep building momentum. Her coach, Brad Gilbert, echoed the sentiment. Coco's playing some of her best tennis right now. She's not just reacting, she's creating. She's reading the game like a veteran and executing like a champion. A crowd favorite. Cincinnati has always been kind to American players, and Gauff is quickly becoming a crowd favorite. Fans in the stands waved homemade signs. Young kids wore headbands to mimic her signature style, and chants of "Let's go, Coco" echoed around the stadium after every big point. I feel the love out here, Gauff said with a smile. It really helps me play better. When you know people are rooting for you, it gives you that extra push. Indeed, her energy seemed to feed off the crowd. There was a moment late in the second set, during a long rally, when Gauff slid into a forehand and whipped it past Bronzetti with such force that the stadium erupted. She raised her fist, flashed a confident nod, and went straight back to the baseline, laser-focused, yet clearly fueled by the roar. Looking ahead, with this win, Gauff advances to the quarterfinals, where she'll face a stiffer challenge, possibly a showdown with world number 2 Aryna Sabalenka or former Grand Slam champion Petra Kvitova. But if her performance against Bronzetti is any indication, Gauff isn't just ready for the next round. She's hungry. She's peaking at the right time. Former champion Chris Evert said on the broadcast, her court sense, her maturity, the way she's moving, it's all coming together. She's a real threat for the U.S. Open. Gauff's journey, from precocious prodigy to polished powerhouse, has been one of tennis's most compelling storylines over the last 5 years. But now, she's entering the phase that matters most, the era of dominance. And in Cincinnati, that era seems to have officially begun. Post-match stats snapshot. Aces, Gauff, 7 Bronzetti 2. First serve percentage, Gauff, 68% Bronzetti, 59%. Winners, Gauff, 28 Bronzetti 11. Unforced errors, Gauff, 13 Bronzetti 19. Break points converted, Gauff, 4 out of 6 Bronzetti, 1 out of 3. Final thoughts. Coco Gauff's performance wasn't just a technical masterclass. It was a show of strength, strategy, and star power. Against Lucia Bronzetti, she didn't just win. She controlled, dictated, and ultimately overwhelmed. As the tournament marches on, and the stakes grow higher, all eyes will be on the young American. But if this match was any indication, Gauff isn't looking over her shoulder. She's staring straight ahead, at the trophy. And maybe, just maybe, at destiny.